Hey guys, Justin here with thermalhunting.com. I'm here with Matt, one of our pro staff guys, and we're gonna take a dive off into some of our drone sales. I've started the drone division here at Thermal Hunting, and we've been rolling now since April of 22. Um, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna start talking about some of the thermal capabilities of some of the drones that we sell. What you'll see on the table here in front of us is DJI's Enterprise line that they sell. Both of these have thermal capabilities, and this is primarily some of the stuff that we sell here in the shop. Here in our shop, we carry two main lines, and that's Alltel, and we carry the full line of Alltel Enterprise and Consumer brand, and DJI's Enterprise and Consumer line. What you'll see over here to our left is the Alltel's Evo Light Plus, which is one of the consumer grade drones. It's non-thermal, just has the daytime 6K camera. We do have those in some of the higher end stuff, and we have those on our website. All right, so what we have here in front of us today is the DJI line, and this is our Enterprise line. This is the newest that DJI's come out with in the past 2 years. We had the Matrice 30T and the Mavic 3T. Both of these have thermal capabilities, and of course there's some differences in both of them. You'll see the one in front of me here is the Matrice 30T, which is composed of 4 cameras in one. It has a wide angle camera along with a zoom camera that has a 200 time hybrid zoom. Matt, what questions have you had for these drones in front of us?
So I've always I've always liked drones, of course, because I think they're pretty cool and they shoot awesome videos. But um, I've really been kind of looking at this one here and like all the different features it has. And I know y'all are looking up here and probably wondering what that is, but it's actually a mic, and he can tell you more about it. And there's also a real bright spotlight over here. Um, and of course, you don't see all this on this one, but it still has, the thermal, and does all the smaller things that this one can do. Um, Really, it's just a price point difference on the two, and he can go over a little bit about some more options that this one may have versus this one.
So yeah, the Mavic 3T, which is the smaller one to the left, it does have thermal capabilities. The thermal sensor on that one is a 640 sensor. Um, it runs at about 30 frames per second. It also has a zoom camera and a wide angle camera. Um, it does have the accessory ports for attachments like spotlights. And it does now have upgrade from the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advance. It does have a anti-collision lighting on it, pre-installed by DJI. The 360 obstacle avoidance, both of those are equipped with that. So they're really good at detecting obstacles, whether you be in front, top, all the way around.
So, Justin, when you're talking about obstacles, is that like so if the drone detects something that it's getting close to, or maybe fixing to hit something, does it stop it or back it up, or how does that work?
So yeah, there are settings in there to where you can either avoid the obstacle or it will brake itself. Unlike a car, it doesn't have wheels, so no traction, so it doesn't stop on a dime. If you're full speed into an object and you detect that obstacle, if you get too close to that obstacle, the drift, once you stop the drone, you could still likely hit it. But with moving slower at a slower speed and letting your obstacle avoidance work for the drone, it will detect that obstacle and either slow the drone down or brake it before it gets to a collision point. Um, and that's just built-in safety features. Um, one of the big things as far as the Matrice goes is it's IP55 rated. So light rain, of course, heavy fog, stuff like that you can't get the Mavic 3T out in. those type of weather conditions. And also the camera itself on the Matrice has a self-heating lens and has self-heating camera, so it can defog itself, unlike some of the other drones that we carry, which is why it's been the more versatile drone that we carry. It's able to be put out in more conditions and in more areas than any other drone. Both of them run about a 40 to 45 minute flight time. Of course, with like the accessory on top, this CZI Spotlight speaker combo, it does operate off the drone battery, so you will have some drain from that. But you would still be within your 30-minute range of flight time, depending on wind and other factors that can play.
All right, so Justin, what's some applications that would be like beneficial for law enforcement or search and rescue on the two drones?
Yeah, so I'm a full-time firefighter myself and drone pilot for a couple of different agencies here in Alabama. And working alongside that side is what got me into drones, and especially the sales side of it. So for the fire department side, search and rescue, structural firefighting, and wildland firefighting, these drones just take it to a new level. One, it takes the safety factor out of, we can put an object in the air to look for somebody without putting people in the woods or in the water to put more people in harm's way looking for somebody.
As far as the mic goes, like say y'all are doing a search and rescue and you found the person, that's the way to communicate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so using these drones in fire and rescue, search and rescue, it basically takes the stress off of some of the firefighters and first responders that are on scene, being that we're not putting as many in harm's way until we actually find what we're looking for, and we can use these cameras to do that with. We've assisted multiple law enforcement agencies and fire departments throughout Alabama already, and we're looking forward to assisting many more with some of their purchases. The biggest thing right now is that what we offer is we're able to come out, and when they purchase a product from us, is that we're able to go out and train them on how to use that particular product. They're not just getting a box from a store that's been shipped from somewhere. They're actually getting a person that's coming out to hand deliver this drone and show them how to use it and make sure they're competent in using it before we leave. And then the follow-up service that we're able to offer them in any assistance that they may need. And that is what we're striving for here at Thermal Hunting in the drone division.
Justin, I've been looking online and I've seen a lot of people, using these drones as deer recovery. If somebody shoots a deer down, is this like something they use to do that?
It is, and this has been a really fast growing market this year that I've seen. The drone deer recovery, we've assisted a couple of guys with starting up their business of drone deer recovery here in Alabama. And there's been a lot of questions, a lot of legality of what can you do with a drone in deer recovery, and what can you not do? Is it illegal? So those questions have been rose. And in deer recovery, I mean, to me, it's kind of like looking for a person. The deer puts off a heat signature. We use a thermal camera to look for that heat signature. With the drone deer recovery, it's been shown from everybody that's done it this year that deer have been found within 48 hours, way faster than what they would have been found with if they would have been tracking with dogs. Mm-hmm. And it's, yeah, there are still people that like to use dogs, and there's nothing wrong with it. They can be used hand in hand. But it's just another tool in the toolbox that you can pull out and say, hey, if you've got a deer that needs to be recovered and you can't find it or track it, this is another option.
Absolutely. I see, I've shot plenty of deer that, I may not have made a good shot, and we spent hours and hours out there with flashlights, and we didn't have a dog. So I really do see it, beneficial to have something like that.
Yeah, and some of the drone deer recovery guys here in Alabama have even said that they'll go out looking for a deer, and it's not that the deer had a fatal shot that killed it, but it was just wounded. And they see the deer walking around alive. Well, that one gives that hunter peace of mind that says, hey, okay, the deer will live another day. So I didn't just wound a deer and lose it, or kill a deer and lose it.
I've shot some, and they've left the field one direction, and we find them the complete opposite. So, you know, you have a wide range that you can travel with this drone to make the recovery.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Justin, why don't we just take this one outside and just fly it around, show them how it runs?
We can do that. We can sit in here and talk about it all day, but everybody wants to see how they operate and how the cameras look. So let's load these things up. We're going to go outside here, power them up, and get them in the air. So what it's doing now is we're going to just make it go through its startup. It's going to check all its sensors. It's going to check and make sure everything's in correctly, batteries are locked in right. It's going to start pulling satellites for GPS.
Home point updated. Check map to confirm.
How long does that normal process take, Justin?
So from powered off to start up, we'll say this thing's folded up in a box and we get it out ready to go. We can usually have it up in the air in less than 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right, and we're ready to go. So we're flying in a Class G airspace, so we have a ceiling of 400 feet. We're going to stable out at about 275.
Man, that's a clear image.
Yeah, so like I said before, the Matrice 30T and the 30 series has, the T has 4 cameras in one. So it has a zoom camera with the 200x hybrid zoom, a wide angle camera, what we'll flip to now, and then it has the thermal camera.
Cord.
So we can flip over to our thermal camera, and in that thermal camera we have the potential to change to different color palettes. So we have 10 different color palettes that we can change through depending on what we're doing and what we're using it for.
So is that sensor there showing like the degrees Celsius of like what you're targeting?
Yeah, so it's showing a degree Celsius of whatever part that I'm touching on the screen. It's going to pick up that particular temperature.
Okay.
That plays a good role in firefighting.
So would that work? So going back to like the deer recovery, if you was to find a deer and you put that on the deer, you could pretty much tell if it's been dead for a little while or if it's still holding heat?
Correct. So using a thermal camera to look for a deer, what we're going to look for is with this high resolution thermal camera, being that it's the highest one on the market, we can use this to look for deer inside the wood line we're able to actually see an outline of a deer. It does zoom in, just like any other camera. So if we're in an area to where we see something and we're trying to identify it's a deer, we can actually flip back over to our zoom camera and zoom in from there to see if that's exactly what we're looking at or not.
Man, that's crystal clear.
That's where the spotlight comes in. So if we're flying at night, we're able to use that spotlight to identify what we're looking at to make sure that that's the right deer that we're looking for without disturbing it.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. So be looking for more content from our drone division as we get some more guests on our show to talk about some of their personal experiences with their drones that they have, and hopefully have some agencies in here to give us some stories about how drones have improved their line of work. Make sure you visit thermalhunting.com. You see a full list of our products for all your thermal scope, scanner, drone, and hunting accessory needs. Go ahead and click that subscribe button here at the bottom. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.